Hello folks, how are you doing? It's Stephen here from GGS Gamer, and I'm right now here in Shoreditch in central London. I'm joined with Josh from Subterranean Games. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. Now, so you're here with a game that's been quite a while called War For The Overworld. Now, for those who might not know, what is it?
So it's a dungeon management game where you play as an underlord who's like this sort of evil demigod, and your sort of role, your reason for being is to sort of carve out this dungeon, attract evil minions, and then go and do all manner of evil, basically. Depends what the level asks you to do.
Now, for me, this one is ringing all massive amounts of nostalgia bells right now for me. Like when I was a kid, I was massively into Dungeon Keeper 2, and this, like when I was playing it early on in the pods, I was like, oh my god, like. Can you tell us about like this sort of story between you guys and the game that brought you to making this game?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the initial team that that's making this game, the initial group of us, we actually met on a fan site for Dungeon Keeper called Keeper Clan, and there was sort of this small community on there that wanted a new Dungeon Keeper game, and we started building it, and Kickstarter had just sort of started becoming a thing at that point. This was in 2012, and towards the end of 2012 we were pretty happy with what we were making, and then we put a Kickstarter up that did quite well, and then we got a full team together and have been working on it ever since.
So how's the Kickstarter journey been for you these past few years in making the game?
It's been quite nice. I mean, we're doing things in a relatively non-traditional manner, because we're being ridiculously open and transparent with like everything we're doing. Every single week we've got a news post up saying here's what we're working on, here's what's coming next. We've been on Steam Early Access for 19 months now. So our backers and anyone else who has bought it on Steam Early Access have sort of been able to see exactly what's been going on with the game. Whenever we've had any setbacks or problems we talk about them, and there have been a lot of those, but because we've been so transparent, everyone's pretty forgiving, so it's quite nice.
I think I was talking to one of your colleagues earlier on, and I think there's a good couple of hundred updates that you guys posted on Kickstarter or something like that.
I think we might be near 200 now. I'm not sure. A lot, yes.
Anything that's been like really instrumental in keeping all those backers happy with what you're able to.
Definitely help. Yeah.
Cool. Now, so I'm going to reel it back to the nostalgia goggles again for a little bit. You have a very special narrator guiding you through the journey, a chap called Richard Ridings, isn't it? Yeah. Who was the original narrator for Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2. How did that even come about?
We thought, if we're going to do this, let's do it properly. So I out of the blue, just emailed his agent, not knowing what to expect, and she got back to me, and we sort of went from there, and it just happened. It was surprisingly not that daunting. So yeah, that was good.
What was his reaction when you proposed the idea to him?
Well, we didn't actually speak to him until after we'd already started. Everything was signed. But once we had spoken to him, he was overjoyed. I mean, he has fond memories of it, and he was more recently he's doing quite different stuff like Peppa Pig. He's Daddy Pig on Peppa Pig. Like he really enjoyed being able to be the bad guy again, because he hasn't been able to do that for quite a while.
There's a whole wealth of units out there, but I think one I picked up when I was playing a demo early on was called the Chunder.
Yep.
So on video, what is the Chunder apart from the amusing name?
So the Chunder is the very basic defensive unit we have. So he comes to your dungeon when you build a foundry, which is the room that you use to build traps. He's sort of playing off the Bile Demon unit from Dungeon Keeper. Something which people heavily requested us to add, but obviously we can't add the Bile Demon, we don't own that. So we have the Chunder, who likes to use the contents of his stomach as a weapon, basically. He also has a larger hammer on his forehead. I don't know, we don't have it here, no. So he'll, whack people with his forehead and then vomit on them.
He's a Chunder guy that chunders everywhere.
Exactly, yes.
He doesn't go to gap year, does he?
Sorry?
He doesn't go off on gap years, does he?
No. No breaks from your minions. Always working.
So the game's not out. It's coming out in not too long, isn't it? I think it's a few months away. How's it been like getting up to that point where we're so close to release, but in a way so far?
I mean, we have delayed several times now. I mean, we were initially going to release in 2013, but we quickly realised that was just not going to happen. So then it was, Easter 2014, then it was late 2014, and then we were like early 2015, and now we're pretty dead set on April. So, yeah, it's. I mean, it's not as scary because we have been on Steam Early Access, so people have been able to see the game. It's not like it's this whole thing that we're putting out and it's completely unseen. So it's not as scary as it probably could be, but it's still a bit daunting, yeah.
Cool. And once the game's out, what's next after that?
So we've got quite a few ideas of stuff we want to add to the game. The first thing we're going to be doing is we have this what we call an early adopter bonus, which is our alternative to a pre-order bonus. So, I mean, traditionally, you pre-order a game and there's some, weapon or mission or skin that you get for pre-ordering it, and if you don't pre-order it, you don't get it. We don't like that because it sort of feels like content is being held back from people who don't pre-order, and it sort of makes the user commit to paying for the game before they've been able to see a review or play a demo or whatever. So what instead we're doing is everyone who purchases within the first month of release is going to get this early adopter bonus. If you pre-order it, you get it as well, but you don't have to. And what this is basically the first DLC that we make, which we haven't even started that yet, is going to be free for those people. So we're not holding anything back from release, nor are we asking people to commit to buying before they've been able to read a review or whatever. So that's the first thing we're going to be working on.
Brilliant. And what's the second thing?
So we have a vote going on from our Kickstarter backers. That's going on at the moment, and there's basically whatever wins that vote is the next thing we're going to be working on. So it's going to be dictated by our Kickstarter backers.
And these guys will keep supporting the game's development as beyond its release and things like that. Is that the plan?
Yeah, we've got a lot of ideas of stuff we want to add. What we actually end up doing is going to be pretty dependent on the reception to different parts of the game. If people really enjoy the campaign, then we'll go ahead and do some more campaign stuff. If they like skirmish, then we'll add some more options to skirmish. We'll see.
For a fun one, what's been like the wildest idea that one of the backers has come back with that you'd love to do but you just can't?
There are some pretty insane things that people have suggested, like, I don't know, like something that came up quite a few times is like having multiple floors to the dungeon, but like completely infeasible. Like, it's possible, but it would being able to just pan around and see stuff, that's very important. So having to keep going up and down we just didn't think it would work. I don't know. There's been people suggest a lot of things, a lot of random stuff.
Brilliant, cool. Well, Josh, thank you very much for taking time to chat out with us. It's been Stephen from GGS Gamer and for War For The Overworld, which is out April 2nd, PC, Mac and Linux. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you later. Cheerio.